As you probably know, I recently built a PC for $2,400 since my old PC became a little bit outdated for my tasks. And I gave my old PC to my younger brother who didn't have a PC at all before. Initially, I didn't want to build a new PC for myself, but just upgrade my old one instead. And that would have been enough for me, honestly. But since I was moving out from my parents' house, I thought, why not make everything new for myself and build an entirely new PC? So that upgrade I had planned for my old PC never happened. But the idea never really left me because that PC means a lot to me. It was with me when I started what I have right now, my YouTube channel. So recently I came back to my parents' house for a week and decided to do that. Upgrade my old PC and give it to its new owner, my little brother. And we're going to test games before and after the upgrade, and on top of that, I have another bonus gift for him that I will show you at the end. So it'll be interesting. Let's get started. So before the upgrade, let me tell you what we have and what we're planning to upgrade. Because to be honest, we're not going to replace every single part of the PC. And that wouldn't be an upgrade in the first place. So my little brother has a PC with these specs: MSI RTX 3060 gaming 12GB GPU, AMD Ryzen 5 2600X CPU, Gigabyte B450C2H motherboard, ADATA XPG D1 Red, 2 kits of 8GB DDR4 RAM with the 3200MHz, a Pacer M2 SATA 480GB SSD, Cougar VTE 600 wattage PSU, Wintec F507 case from the local brand, and a Deepcool GAMX 400 V2 Air CPU cooler. Along with that, he has this wonderful setup for both gaming and working since it was mine back in the day, a standing desk of 142 60cm size, an ergonomic chair from Sihu that I still like to sit in and have bought twice by the way from my current setup, a 1080p 75Hz 24-inch Samsung budget monitor, glorious devices, headphones from the brand Havit, and the Fifine AM8 microphone. According to him, these things are more than enough for his tasks, which is why he never complained about it and never even asked for an upgrade. That's why this upgrade is totally my decision, not his. But I'm sure it will be pleasant for him too. So just remember this setup and this PC because now we're going to change it completely. But before that, let me explain my plan for this upgrade. But honestly, just hearing me explain this wouldn't really land. You need to actually see it. So I put together this presentation for you, kind of like a university project. And look how clean this actually turned out. Something like this in PowerPoint would have taken me 4 or 5 hours, easy. This took me 2 minutes and I never even opened PowerPoint. I used Gamma, which is our sponsor for today. To create this kind of stuff on Gamma's homepage, I clicked create new and then generate. After that, I just typed my prompt in Gamma's description box, explaining what I needed, the purpose, the upgrade, which components would be replaced, and that I wanted a clean seminar type presentation explaining it. The longer the prompt, the more accurate the presentation will be. Then I chose a theme that looked beautiful and matched the style of the topic. After that, I chose the amount of text to be concise because I prefer more talking and visuals than presentations packed with text. And at the end, I chose the illustration style for the images in the presentation. After that, I just clicked generate, and within a minute, my 10-page presentation was ready. If I wanted to present that in front of an audience, I'd have no problem doing so. And the main thing is that it didn't take my whole day to adjust font sizes or styling in PowerPoint. Gamma made it for me really quickly. But of course, sometimes you might not like some pages. That's alright, because after generating, you can always edit every piece of it. And obviously, I can also create web pages, documents, infographics, posters, and calendars from the same single prompt in a minute. I think that's crazy. So if you also want to try Gamma, you can find the link in the description. Now let's get back to the video. Okay, without any further ado, I opened the case and took out only what mattered to me. And out of all of that, we won't be upgrading the GPU because in my opinion, the RTX 3060 is a monster in full HD and can handle 2K gaming without a problem. But I'm sure the Ryzen 5 2600X CPU will be a bit of a bottleneck for this upgrade. I knew that from the beginning while I was using it, and I always wanted to upgrade it. I just never had the time. So today, the CPU will finally be upgraded, and the old one will stay in the case as a keepsake. Next is the motherboard, the Gigabyte B450M C2H. Since we're upgrading the CPU, this motherboard will be sold because I'm not sure it can handle our new CPU, so it will be replaced with a new one. Our next component is the RAM, and I wish I could say I'll sell both sticks and buy new DDR5 RAM with more capacity, but RAM is expensive, so I'll take these 2 sticks from my old build and put them into the new one. I guess my little brother will be fine with 16GB of DDR4 RAM for now, until prices normalize. I'll just optimize his OS at this point to make 16GB easier to work with for the time being. Unfortunately, there's no option right now. After that, we have this M2 SATA SSD, and I'll add another 1TB on top of it, because even though 480GB is enough, I want to make my little brother happier and give him a bit more space for his future projects, and invest in his YouTube career, so to speak. As for the PSU, I'll take it from the old build, and that 600 watts should be enough for this upgrade. I'm really glad that when I built this PC 5 years ago, I bought this PSU with extra wattage for future upgrades, and now that feature has arrived. Thank you, younger me, I love you. Now, the cooler and case will be replaced because I don't feel the need to keep them, and I just want to feel the full effect of the upgrade. So why not? On top of that, I don't really like this old case because its air circulation feels questionable to me at the moment, and when I bought it, it was just the cheapest one. I didn't really think about what I was buying since I didn't have the money for more expensive options at the time. So now that we've pointed out what should be upgraded and what shouldn't, we can move on to the next part. Let's get into that. Alright, I sat down and searched every local store to find the best possible options for the price. It was honestly kinda hard because literally everything was expensive with how PC prices are nowadays. But nonetheless, I added everything to the shopping cart of the online stores, and after that I got in a car and drove to all of those offline stores to gather every component and came home with everything. And now I want to show you what I bought for this upgrade. Okay, after a decent amount of research in every store possible in my city, I bought these things. The first one is the motherboard. For this upgrade, I bought the MSI B550A Pro. Again, this is the AM4 socket because you know the situation right now and my RAM is DDR4, so I couldn't simply buy an AM5 motherboard no matter how much I wanted to, because AM5 motherboards don't support my DDR4 memory, and on top of that, everything would go up in price along with the motherboard itself, including the RAM. But at least I got the B550 chipset, which allows us to use PCIe 4 speeds, and this exact motherboard has thick VRAM heatsinks and obviously good features such as USB-C support and the Bluetooth, which this PC didn't have on its old Gigabyte motherboard. And the MSI motherboard cost me $125, and it's worth it for its price because of the next component, which is the CPU. For this specific build, I bought the Ryzen 7 5700X with 8 cores and the 16 threads. Compared to the 6 cores and the 12 threads that the Ryzen 5 2600X had, this one is so much faster, probably like 40 to 50% even. There's also a big difference in generations. The Ryzen 7 5700 is better in every way here, with its Zen 3 architecture. On top of that, the price was reasonable, so I bought it for $180. Now, along with that, let's talk about the storage my brother's going to be using for his games and the editing. For this upgrade, I bought an NVMe SSD from Kingston with 1TB of storage, because the old one from Apacer was a SATA M2 drive running at 500 megabytes per second. But obviously, we won't throw the old one away. I'll put it in the second M2 slot on the motherboard, so my brother will have 1.5TB of storage instead of the old 480GB. In total, I bought this SSD for $155, but the next component will be cheaper than this. Well, let's start with the CPU cooler. This CPU doesn't run that hot, so it would have been fine to keep the Deepcool Gamax 400 V2, but I wanted to make it more aesthetic and quieter, so I bought the Deepcool LE360 V2 for this build in black. I like Deepcool's coolers because I have one on my own PC, so I hope this one is worth it. That's not a promotion, by the way. I bought it for $70 from the store. Now, we need something to put everything together in. And since I mentioned that my old case was kinda questionable because the components were getting hot, I decided to buy from a good brand that makes high quality cases. And that's the very popular Linley V100R. While unpacking it, I could barely fit it in the camera frame, so just take a look after I unpack it. That's how it looks, in black with built-in fans. This one is going to be a very good upgrade in terms of aesthetics, and it cost me around $85. So overall, I spent $615 on this upgrade, and now I can't wait to build everything together to see the result of the purchase. So let's move on to the building process.
Can't fool flexing cause they know I got the sauce. Got the presence on me, I can't ever take it off. That's why I came country boy stepping, yeah, I'm country boy stepping. Country boy stepping, yeah, I'm country boy stepping.
Okay, now we've upgraded our PC and the PC looks like this. Look how pretty it turned out. And now before launching it, we've got to remove the protective clips from all the glass panels. If building the PC was my job, I gave this task to my brother because it's his PC now. I already removed a bunch of clips, that's enough. Now let my brother enjoy the process. Now before launching the PC, I have to mention something. The SSD in the PC is now 1TB, but initially I wanted to add that old 480GB SSD on top of the brand new 1TB SSD for even more space. It turned out though that the new motherboard's M2 slot doesn't support SATA SSD. So in the BIOS, the second SSD didn't even show up. That's why I decided to just leave it in my old PC's motherboard before selling it, and instead I had another 512GB NVMe SSD. So I inserted that to make up for what we lost. At the end of the day, now let's launch the PC. As you can see, the PC turned out to be insane for a 14-year-old. And I wish I had an older brother who could have gifted me a PC like that back when I was 14. But since I'm the one giving it to my little brother, he'd better be happy. But this isn't the only gift I'm giving my little brother because I have one more thing to give him. Alright, I hope you remember that budget 1080p monitor with the 75Hz refresh rate. That monitor used to be really enough for me when I was a teenager, working with Photoshop and editing programs. But at the moment, since that's the only monitor left from my old build, I gave it to my little brother as a temporary solution. Because 75Hz, to be clear, is already not enough for gaming if you constantly play online games. So to make everything complete for this build, I bought a brand new monitor from MSI with a 200Hz refresh rate, an IPS display, and a 2K resolution. I know you might be thinking right now, why would you buy a 2K monitor when the GPU is for 1080p resolution? Well, that's simple. At the beginning I looked at both 1080p and the 2K monitors, but most 2K monitors weren't that much more expensive compared to 1080p monitors with the same refresh rate and display type, so I said, why not? On top of that, if he ever upgrades his GPU, he won't need to buy a new monitor, he'll just use the 2K one instead. And the money I spent was only around $220, so it makes sense. Now this is how the entire setup looks like after the upgrade. The old components that remained were sold on the secondhand market for a cheaper price just to get rid of them, and the 1080p monitor by my little brother request stayed on the table. He wants to use it as a secondary monitor for his editing and all other tasks, or sometimes just for Discord, whatever honestly. The only drawback is that this monitor will take a slight toll on the PC's performance and decrease the FPS the GPU generates, but it still doesn't seem to bother my brother. Overall though, I like how it turned out, and I hope you do too. Okay, now let's compare the performance before and after the upgrade through the benchmark. Alright, the first game in today's test is Counter-Strike 2, with every settings maxed out and the resolution set to 2K. In the benchmark before the upgrade, we can clearly see that the GPU temperature is set at 60 to 63 degrees and working at 91%, while the CPU is at 56 degrees and working at 36%, giving us 150 to 170 FPS. After the upgrade, we didn't gain too much in terms of FPS. I think we actually lost a little bit of FPS, but that's because of the second monitor, in my opinion. But what we did gain is that the processor is now at 20% load, while the GPU is at stable 99% load, which means they're no longer bottlenecking each other. Even the frame rate graph became noticeably flatter than before, and the CPU temperature is at 46 degrees, which is lower than before. Now let's move on to Fortnite. I'm a completely noob at this game, but I still managed to record the benchmark somehow, so let's look at the stats. The changes aren't that noticeable here, even though Fortnite is a CPU intensive game, but at least we see a 10 to 20 FPS increase after the upgrade with the second monitor turned on, along with a slightly lower frame time and the temperature, but compared to the next game, that's nothing. In Cyberpunk, the changes are already noticeable. FPS is slightly increased, frame time is flatter, and the temperature is lower, with no signs of a bottleneck like before. The same goes for Horizon Zero Dawn. Everything in benchmark improved. Playing the game is really enjoyable this time, without microlags or low FPS issues, even at max settings and a 2K resolution. But the next game didn't impress me as much. Metro Exodus, with every setting maxed out, still has the same FPS before and after the upgrade, though the frame time is slightly better. The only real improvement we got is probably the temperature. Both the CPU and the GPU are cooler than before. I guess replacing the case worked out for the best. But without saying anything more, let's move on to the conclusion. Okay, before you say it in the comments, this upgrade is pointless in terms of FPS increase. You have to understand that was never the goal in the first place. We didn't even change the GPU here, which is the main factor in gaming FPS performance specifically. The goal of this upgrade for me was to replace the Ryzen 5 2600X, which is already a dinosaur for 2026 standards, with something from the Zen Plus generation that frankly isn't well suited to pair with the RTX 3060. And on top of that, even if the difference isn't as visible in games, in editing programs and rendering, you immediately notice the upgrade difference, which in my opinion accomplished the goal of this video. As for the other components, the case and CPU cooler played an important role in lowering the system temperatures and adding an aesthetic touch to the upgrade. As for my little brother, he's as happy as ever. Honestly, anyone in his position would be happy with this setup. So he thanked me, but I have to say thank you to you if you managed to watch this video till the end. Now again, thanks for watching and take care.